There's no way that a smart traveler like you is going to pass up on learning all the best kept secrets you need to know about the Disney World hotels. So that's why we've created this ultimate list of Disney's awesome hotel details that most people have never heard about. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. We've never been one to gatekeep all the amazing secrets and tricks that go into a Disney World resort stay, and we aren't going to start now. Not when you got an upcoming trip you need to plan ahead for. That would just be mean. So today we're going to not only fill you in on the best Disney World hotel activities resort-wide, but we're also going to tell you about all of our favorite resort secrets. Those hidden gems, those Easter eggs, all of those very important extras hiding around the hotels as well. Let's start with the smart lockers. Ever had groceries or a package delivered to your Disney hotel? Well, it's now easier for guests to retrieve their items thanks to the smart lockers at All Star Music. There are 45 lockers that range in size from small to large, and they're all located right outside Melody Hall near luggage services. So how do they work? Well, select vendors are allowed to drop off groceries at those All Star smart lockers for you if you'd like them to. From there, if you use the online check-in service via the My Disney Experience app, you'll receive an email notification when packages or grocery items have been delivered to the lockers, along with instructions on how to access your stuff. If you order something that needs to be kept cold, there are refrigerated lockers available too, though those are subject to availability. So you may feel more comfortable just meeting the delivery person in the front lobby to pick up those perishables and get them back to your room as quickly as possible. Certain items, like alcoholic beverages, cannot be delivered to the lockers, so you'll have no choice but to pick those up in person. Just a heads up. And don't forget that there is a $6 fee to use these lockers too, though prices are always subject to change. Didn't use online check-in? No prob. You'll still be able to pick up grocery orders from Bell Services for, again, around a $6 fee. Now, if you want a real royal treatment, you may want to float on down to the bayou instead and get a room over at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. Just like any other Disney World resort, Port Orleans has a few different room types. You've got your standard, your pool view, your preferred room, your king bedroom, but unlike the other resorts, you've got another option called the Royal Guest Rooms. This is one of those rooms where a grand reveal is warranted. Some hotels, when you open the door and you're just like, cool, a bed and a bathroom. But at Royal Guest Rooms, you open the door and reveal portraits of Disney princesses, Aladdin's magic carpet sprawled out on the floor, Belle's little footstool pup Sultan next to the TV, sinks with magic lamps, and to really hit it out of the ballpark, headboards that actually light up with fireworks. And the best part, these rooms are still set at a moderate price. We're talking like $335 to $360 per night depending on the room view and time of year you book your trip. All right, partners, we're headed to the wilderness. Fort Wilderness, that is. Those old log cabin style rooms over yonder are on their way out. Imagineers have completely redesigned those rooms to become the Disney Vacation Club cabins at Fort Wilderness Resort that anyone, even non-DVC members, are allowed to book. These new cabin designs feature a sleek, modern interior, which Disney explained are inspired by the resort's idyllic setting, while also paying homage to the resort's unique culture and heritage through the magic of Disney storytelling. Basically, they have almost the same setup. They've just got a lot of little character touches in there. They have a few efficiencies that the old cabins didn't have. So I think you're really going to like how they look inside. Now, the cabins will sleep up to 6 adults and feature 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a living room, a full kitchen, a private patio. Some cabins are also dog friendly. The first round of these new cabins are set to open on July 1st, 2024. And then after that, more of those Fort Wilderness loops will start opening up. By the way, if you're wanting to study up on all the different Disney World hotels available before you commit to booking any of them, go ahead and scan the QR code you see on the screen now, or head over to disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. You can pick up our free guide featuring every Disney World hotel and what they have to offer when it comes to amenities, prices, and unique resort benefits. Inside this guide, we also rank all the hotels while listing out their pros and cons for you, so you can decide which resort is going to best fit your family's specific needs and preferences, because every Disney hotel is right for somebody. It just depends on what you need. So what if you didn't stay in a hotel at all? What if you stayed somewhere instead that you could brag about at your next high school reunion? The tree houses at Disney's Saratoga Springs Resort might be a good place to start. Saratoga Springs gets overlooked when it comes to the Disney World Resort lineup, since it's A, very Disney Vacation Club focused, and B, has kind of outdated rooms that you can't walk to any of the parks from there. You can walk to Disney Springs though. To me, Saratoga kind of just looks like a big apartment complex, and I'm also not a huge fan that the doors to the rooms just open out into an outdoor hallway. It feels kind of motel-y to me. But the tree houses are a completely different area of Saratoga Springs, and they are not to be slept on, just slept in. Saratoga's tree houses aren't exactly perched on a tree per se, but they are elevated, so they're amongst the treetops. They're also super spacious and can sleep up to 9 people with 3 bedrooms, full kitchen, outdoor patio, and full living room areas. So if you haven't taken a look at those, or if you haven't even heard about them, definitely start looking into them if you've got a big group traveling. And if you don't mind a splurge, you can get a nice and private garden suite over at Disney's Boardwalk Inn. Now, the garden suites have just been completely refurbished, and they are beautiful. They're going to place you in the Epcot Resort area, but in the most quiet and peaceful way possible. For starters, there are only 14 garden suites available for you to book at the Boardwalk Inn, and these 14 suites might be connected to one another, but they're also fenced off so other guests can't wander in and out all willy-nilly. Not only will you have space away from other guests, but you'll also have space to spread out from your fellow members of your travel group. The suites are 2 stories tall and include a full living room area with wraparound couch, multiple bathrooms, including one with a full-on jacuzzi tub on the 2nd floor, a wet bar, and an upstairs loft where you can play Rapunzel, Rapunzel, and let down your hair. These are definitely built for honeymooners or couples traveling alone. This is what you kind of splurge on if you're going on a special trip. When you're taking a dip over at the Boulder Ridge Cove pool area in the back of Wilderness Lodge, check out that vintage-looking mining equipment hanging out in this quarry-themed area. For some of you longtime Disney goers, this equipment might look familiar, and that's because it used to be part of the now-defunct Studio Backlot Tour at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So MGM Studios lives on, at least over here. You can enjoy a nighttime safari out on the resort's private savannah thanks to the Starlight Safari at Animal Kingdom Lodge. This is so cool, and nobody knows about it. This is an hour-long experience. It takes place well after the sun goes down. Guests are going to receive night vision goggles to spot the African wildlife that call the savannah home. Over 30 species reside at the lodge, including zebras, giraffes, gazelles, antelopes, flamingos, and more. Now, the Starlight Safari is offered twice nightly at 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m., and prices vary by date, but tend to cost around $75 to $89 each, which is actually pretty reasonable when it comes to kind of a Disney backstage tour. Don't forget, you're going to go out on the safari vehicle, out into the savannah, which is not something you are ever able to do at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So this is kind of exciting. If you've ever visited Disney's Contemporary Resort, then there's pretty much no way you missed the gigantic mural. This area is known as the Grand Canyon Concourse, and the mural here was created to fit the name. It was designed by Mary Blair, the talented artist behind the concept art for many Disney films and the character designs for It's a Small World, and she just did everything. This is Blair's largest mural ever, and it has been here since the resort first opened back in 1971. It's made to look like a stylized interpretation of the Grand Canyon, complete with animals and foliage and Native Americans. In her artwork, Mary Blair was paying homage to Southwest Native Americans, so she wanted to include one of their beliefs in her design. They believe that nothing made by man could ever be perfect, since man is imperfect. To reflect this belief in her mural, Blair included a 5-legged goat. It's a reminder that human error exists and that people make mistakes in their artwork. Pause that Marco Polo game. Disney's got some other poolside activities for you, like trivia games and bingo and water balloon tosses, just tons of stuff. Pool activities are going to vary between resorts and change up daily, so check your resort's featured schedule of activities. They're listed inside the lobby, and also out at the pool, they're going to list usually on a chalkboard. Here are kind of the scheduled activities for the day. And if you can't find any of that, a cast member at the front desk should have an updated resort itinerary. But the downside of these pool parties is that if you have a room close to a pool and you want to maybe take a nap, or your kids are taking a nap, those pool parties get really, really loud. We're talking like bullhorn kind of loud. So heads up that if you do have a midday napper, you probably want to request a room further away from a pool. If you've ever wanted to get a photo with Cinderella's glass slipper, now is your chance. There's a photo pass area set up at the Grand Floridian. It's upstairs. It's kind of hard. You're not going to kind of find it unless you're looking for it. It's got a colorful ombre backdrop and the famous glass slipper on a beautiful pillow. Hurry up and grab a picture here before the clock strikes midnight. There are usually going to be photo pass photographers stationed to help you out with that. Planning on doing a little remote work while you're on vacation? The Voyagers Lounge in Disney's Riviera Resort might be the perfect place to get stuff done. This stylish lounge reflects Walt Disney's travels through Europe, including decor inspired by the books Walt Disney collected and his 1935 grand tour through the continent. So go ahead, work or relax here while enjoying some snacks and beverages from Le Petit Cafe next door. And we're back at Wilderness Lodge because there's a lot of details around this deluxe hotel that you are not going to want to miss. If you follow the path behind the pool area close to the lake, then you'll eventually stumble upon Fire Rock Geyser, which is a 120-foot geyser that erupts hourly from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's very, very cool. If you have a courtyard view room, you get to watch that geyser erupt, or if you're just hanging out at the pool as well. It'll definitely let you know what time it is. No Pop Century resort expert could stay at the Pop Century Hotel without enjoying its trademark tie-dye cheesecake dessert at least once. I remember when this resort opened, I remember trying the tie-dye cheesecake, which back then was in a wedge form, for the very first time, and it was one of the coolest things ever. The psychedelic treat features tie-dye cheesecake layered on top of red velvet cake. While you might be expecting all kinds of flavors with those multiple colors, the cheesecake is pretty much a regular old super yummy cheesecake that pairs well with the flavoring of the red velvet. Since we're all friends here, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Okay, it's not really a secret, but it's good information to know when you're planning your trip. You can actually pool hop in Disney World, but only at specific hotels. If you're staying at Port Orleans French Quarter, you're welcome to spend some time lounging by the Doubloon Lagoon pool, but you're also welcome to visit Port Orleans Riverside, where you're going to find Old Man Island. It's home to a large pool, a spa, a kiddie pool, a wading pool, and a short but fun water slide. Just because you're staying at a value resort doesn't mean you don't get some stellar perks. And if you have an upcoming trip planned for any of the 3 All-Star resorts on property, you're in luck. No matter which All-Star resort you might be staying at, sports, music, or movies, you can visit any of the All-Star pools. At All-Star Music, there are the Calypso and Piano pools. At movies are the Fantasia and Duck Pond pools. And at sports, you're going to find the Surfboard Bay and Grand Slam pools. Unfortunately, this kind of value resort pool hopping is strictly for the All-Star Value hotels only and not for any of the other value hotels. So if you stay at Pop Century or Art of Animation, you're going to have to stick with the pools available at your own hotel. But don't worry, you definitely won't be suffering. The Pop Century pools and Art of Animation pools are pretty awesome, and there are several at each hotel. And if you're staying at Disney's Yacht Club or Beach Club resorts, you'll be able to hop between those pools as well. For those looking for some leisurely hangs, you can check out the Tidal, Admiral, and Dunes Cove pools, but the best pool at Yacht and Beach, of course, is that Stormalong Bay. We're going to talk more about that later on. If you go up to a Joffrey's kiosk and ask them for free coffee, the cast members are going to give you a weird look, but you can make yourself a cup of complimentary Joffrey's coffee when you're in a Disney World hotel room. Each room is going to have its own little coffee maker, complete with sugar and cream and stirrers, and of course, Joffrey's coffee packets. Making yourself a cup of joe before you head out to the parks can help save you money on morning Java. Now, let's say you really want to spend the night in a room at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa. Why wouldn't you? They are so fancy now that they're all dressed up like Mary Poppins Returns. And of course, I love that they have one little tiny penguin on their chandelier full of birds. It's awesome. But you also don't want to spend the money to stay there for an entire week because it is bonker balls expensive. You can always choose to do a split stay and spend the first half of your vacation at one of the Disney Value resorts, then wrap up with a bang over at a deluxe resort. If you decide to go the split stay route, let the cast members in the lobby of your first resort know what's up when you're checking out. That way they can transfer your luggage over to your second Disney World hotel free of charge. And as soon as you get to the second Disney World hotel, just head over to Bell Services and ask them about your luggage. They'll probably tell you to head upstairs, call down, and they'll send your luggage right up. Don't forget to tip your porters. Whether you're staying at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge or just swinging by for a visit and a nice meal, you can pick up an animal spotting guide at the front desk to help you identify the different animals hanging out on the resort's personal savannah. If you're staying in a room at Animal Kingdom Lodge, there should be a spotting guide on the table ready and waiting for you. But again, if you don't see one, you can always pick one up in the lobby. And even if you don't pick up one of these spotting guides, you can still watch the African animals out those giant windows of the resort. All right, got some history for you here. The Contemporary Resort has quite the backstory, and not just Disney-specific ones, American history. In 1973, after the events of Watergate, Richard Nixon delivered his famous "I am not a crook" speech in the Contemporary's Ballroom of the Americas. Of course, very shortly after that speech, Nixon did resign from the presidency for his actions, but those very famous words still live on in American history to this day, and they were spoken in Disney World. Resort guests at Port Orleans French Quarter and Riverside, Old Key West Resort, and Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa may not have the convenience of the Skyliner and monorail at their disposal, but they do have the Sassagoula River ferry boat. This open-air water taxi is a relaxing and free way to travel over to the Disney Springs shopping district. The best part about it, though, is that you don't have to be a resort guest to use it. Even if you just wanted to hop on board to grab some beignets over at the French Quarter, anybody's allowed to use these boats whenever they're available. Speaking of, sometimes they are not available. If the Disney area has not seen enough rain at a particular time, this usually happens in the spring, then those boats might have to go MIA because there's just not enough water on the river for them to travel. So just a heads up that can happen. So have a plan B in your back pocket. Usually plan B in Disney World means bus. B for bus. Get it? Okay. Let's add a little extra magic to your morning routine. Instead of just using your phone's alarm to help you get up and at 'em, press the wake up call button on the phone in your room when you first move into your Disney hotel so you can set up an early morning ring-a-ding from a super special Disney friend. You won't be able to request a specific character, but in the past we've been greeted by popular characters like Mickey or Stitch. The next time that you visit Disney's Riviera Resort, look up. In the porte cochere, also known as the covered area in front of the resort where cars can pass through, you can spot a giant hidden Mickey. These modern-looking chandeliers have been cleverly placed to create that iconic Mickey shape when you look at it from the right angle. Did you know there's a hidden train room at Disney's Wilderness Lodge? I love this room. It is probably one of my favorite rooms in all of Disney World. It is so chill and relaxing, and nobody's ever in there. Anyway, before the Disneyland Railroad existed, there was the Carolwood Pacific Railroad, which was the small railway that Walt Disney built in his own Los Angeles backyard. This room is named after that very railroad, and you'll find train nods throughout, from trains in the decor to scale models of the very train that lived at Walt's house. It's a great spot for Disney history buffs and train buffs to explore. You can find this room located inside the Boulder Ridge Villas on the ground floor just off the lobby. It's basically the community room for this Disney Vacation Club building. Trader Sam's Grog Grotto is an ultra-popular immersive bar inside the Polynesian Village Resort. But because of its popularity, it also gets real busy, packed even, to the point where you might not be able to get on the walk-up wait list at all. Now, your best bet for getting on the Grog Grotto wait list is to show up at the bar before it opens for the day, which is typically 3 p.m. But if you miss your window of opportunity, you can always opt for the second Trader Sam's location instead. Surprise! Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace. This is a relaxed outdoor lounge right outside Grog Grotto that features the same creative concoctions and the same food that's served in the bar area. While Tiki Terrace may not have the level of interactive shenanigans that Grog Grotto has, you can still hear live music out here while sitting next to an outdoor waterfall to get more of that serene island vibe. Now, it may not have as many interactive drinks either, but it has a lot of the same great drinks on the menu, and it also has a lot of the same food, like I mentioned. Are you ready for a rootin' tootin' good time? I know I am. The Hoop-Dee-Doo musical review at Fort Wilderness is an extravaganza of food and entertainment for the whole family. Seriously, it's hard not to have a good time here. Located in Pioneer Hall, the setting is a huge barn complete with stage and musical numbers, and there are literally buckets of food for the table to share, serving up an all-you-care-to-enjoy meal of fried chicken, ribs, mashed potatoes, and unlimited draft beer, wine, and sangria for guests 21 years of age and older. Though, word of warning, the sangria leaves a little something to be desired, so this is more of a quantity over quality sort of deal. There are typically 3 showtimes per evening for Hoop-Dee-Doo, 4 p.m., 6:15, and 8:30. Just remember, Fort Wilderness can take a while to get to. Take a gander at the bus and boat systems to be sure you got plenty of time to get to Fort Wilderness for your reservation. And note that Disney recommends you arrive 30 minutes prior to your scheduled showtime. But if you haven't been to Hoop-Dee-Doo, you gotta go at least once. Wonderfully aromatic and gorgeous gingerbread displays can be found at several Disney resorts around the holidays. Last year, we saw horses spinning on the Beach Club gingerbread carousel themed around DuckTales, the signature gingerbread house at the Grand Floridian Resort, which was so large that cast members can actually stand inside to serve holiday treats. The gingerbread castle featured at Disney's Contemporary Resort came back, gingerbread Boardwalk Inn replica at, of course, the Boardwalk Inn. It's so cute. A gingerbread lighthouse at Yacht Club, and a gingerbread giraffe and baby zebra at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Typically, these gingerbread structures start popping up around the resort lobbies around mid-November and last until the beginning of January. So whether you're staying as a guest at one of these hotels around that time of year, or you're just a passerby who wanted to see what all the fuss was about, everyone is welcome to check out the gingerbread displays and get into that spirit. Don't have time for a sit-down meal at Beaches and Cream over at the Beach Club? Then you can grab an ice cream treat on the go. Beaches and Cream has a to-go window right outside the restaurant that serves a limited selection of icy treats like double hand-scooped ice cream, shakes, the mini, like M-I-N-I, Mickey Sink Sundae, and for all you adults out there, boozy concoctions too. These boozy drinks range from hard sodas, wines, beers, ciders, and our favorite option, hard floats and shakes too. If you're celebrating something during your next Disney World vacation, like a birthday, graduation, anniversary, you can add on a special delivery before you get to your hotel room. There's a place called Magical Floral and Gifts, and they partner with Florida Fresh Florals, LLC, to provide premium gift deliveries to folks who are wanting to surprise their loved ones with a little extra pizzazz during their special day. All the packages and floral items that you order from the website in advance will be delivered to the front desk of your hotel. Now, this is different from how they used to do it. It used to be that all of the magical floral and gifts and stuff was in-house at Disney. Now they are outsourcing it to a third-party company, so they can't bring it in your room anymore because that would be weird. So they drop it all off at the front desk, which is kind of sad because you can no longer kind of open your door and there's like a Christmas tree in there, right? But now, I don't know what the benefit is necessarily of outsourcing to a third party, except that it saves Disney money. But anyway, now it'll go to the front desk. And then once it arrives there, delivery of the package is coordinated between the front desk team and the guest. So you contact the front desk, you say, I want you to bring my flowers up, and they say, okay, and when, and whatever. Now you can also have these gifts delivered up to your room, but you must be present in order to make that happen. Currently, there are a variety of gift baskets, balloon bouquets, and floral arrangements to choose from, and pricing for these offerings varies depending on what you order. Floral arrangements usually start about $60, balloons at $45, and gift baskets start at $74.99. Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge features over 800 unique pieces of original art, which is one of the largest assemblages of African art outside of the continent of Africa. We're talking paintings and sculptures and artifacts that fill Animal Kingdom Lodge's lobbies, hallways, and corridors. That's all curated, sourced stuff, y'all. It is not something that Disney just kind of, made in the shop downstairs. And the largest piece featured in this collection is that 16-foot tall mask made by the Igbo people of Nigeria. It's displayed in the main lobby. You might not even realize it's a mask, but that's what it is. That's big old yellow thing. You can actually see the Magic Kingdom's fireworks show, Happily Ever After, without ever entering the park. Okay, you can only see the fireworks part of it, not so much the castle projections, but hey, you're not having to pay for a park ticket, so let's just be happy there. So where can you catch the show? A few different places around the resorts, actually, specifically around the monorail hotels that include Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary. While you can always watch the fireworks for free over at the resort beach side or near the marinas, you can also catch dinner and a show while dining at places like Ohana at Polynesian Village, Narcoossee's at the Grand Floridian. Not a great view from there. You kind of have to go outside and kind of crane your neck to see it, but you can sort of see the fireworks from there. Now, if you're dining near showtime, be sure to ask for a table near a window for a good view, especially Polynesian Village. Definitely ask for a fireworks view table there. Don't just ask for a window table, ask for a fireworks view table. Now, this strategy doesn't always guarantee you a good fireworks seat, but it never hurts to try. And the restaurants even dim the lights and play the fireworks soundtrack so you can listen along to the show as well. Now, for a guaranteed fireworks view, you can make reservations for California Grill over at the Contemporary Resort. They've got that private outdoor balcony specifically for their guests to have a unique vantage point of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. Don't want to pay an arm and a leg for Cali Grill's prefix menu? I get that. You might also be able to grab a walk-up seat for the restaurant's bar, which will give you a limited menu of bites to choose from, but the same fireworks balcony privileges. And don't forget, if you eat there before the fireworks, you can always bring your receipt back and they'll let you back up to go to the balcony. When it comes to resort recreation, Fort Wilderness blows the other resorts out of the water. There's so much to do here. You could fill a whole day at Fort Wilderness alone and never step outside the campground. So what exactly can you do? Well, let's go through the list. You can take a dip at the Meadow swimming pool if you're staying there. Join in on the free Chippendale campfire sing-along. That's for anybody. Learn archery over at the Archery Experience. Take a horse-drawn carriage or wagon ride, or at least say howdy to the equestrian crew over at the Tri-Circle D Ranch, where you can meet all the ponies. Float down the river on a canoe or kayak, glide along on a Segway during the Wilderness Back Trail adventure, and a lot more. If you haven't been over to Fort Wilderness, definitely go check it out. We love it over there. Okay, raise your hand if you love Disney's Pop Century Resort. So many of us do, but if you haven't had the chance to visit, you might want to even if you're not staying there, just to admire the shadow boxes filled with blasts from the past. In keeping with this fun and colorful Value Resorts theme, the shadow boxes in the lobby include items reflecting music and television, fads, trends, gizmos, and gadgets from the various decades, ranging from the 50s to the 90s. For some extra luxury while you're lounging by the pool, you can always rent a cabana if you want to. They're available for an extra fee for all resort guests over at Disney's Contemporary Resort, Disney's Grand Floridian, and Disney's Yacht and Beach Club. While cabanas vary depending on their location, your cabana will more than likely have padded furniture, a TV, a ceiling fan, and a mini fridge stocked with complimentary snacks and water. To reserve a cabana before your trip, call 407-WDW-PLAY. Much like advanced dining reservations, you can start booking poolside cabanas 60 days before the start of your trip. Word of warning though, cabanas can be kinda steeply priced, often ranging around $200 plus for a full day rental. If you're staying at Disney's Art of Animation, there are free cabanas you can grab, first come, first serve, over at the Cozy Cone Pool. Now, your cabana here won't have all the same plushy perks, but it's complimentary and shaped like a giant traffic cone. Located across from the Beach Club Marketplace at Beach Club Resort, the Solarium is a bright and airy room that has plenty of seating, a TV, and a generally serene atmosphere. We've been known to come here just to get away from the hustle and bustle of the Disney scene, and since the Epcot International Gateway entrance is just a short walk away, it's a great stop if you need a little break from the park. A lot of people don't know this room is here. A lot of people just use it as a hallway to walk from one end of the building to the other, so this is definitely a place that's not usually too crowded. Now, how about the catch and release fishing? Private catch and release largemouth bass fishing excursions are available to book at any of Disney World's resorts that have a marina. During this excursion, you'll be provided with a guide, a rod and reel, tackle, artificial and live bait, and complimentary beverages. Just don't bring your own cooler because those aren't allowed on the boat. To make reservations and learn more about the pricing info, call 407-WDW-BASS. Scat Cats Club Lounge at Port Orleans Resort French Quarter serves up drinks and beignets and unique Cajun cuisine. And to make this place even better, on select evenings, typically Fridays through Sundays, you can listen to live jazz musicians while sipping on those specialty cocktails. If you're coming by French Quarter during the day, the lounge isn't going to be open, since Scat Cats Club Lounge is open from 5 p.m. to midnight daily. But you can also enjoy some beignets from the Scat Cats Club Cafe, which is located right next door. I know, that's not confusing at all, is it? Now, one of the world's greatest bands officially called it quits on Disney World property. John Lennon told the Beatles in 1969 that he wanted out of the group, and Paul McCartney officially announced it to the public in 1970. It wasn't until 1974, however, that the band officially signed the papers to end it all. So George and Paul signed in New York, Ringo in England, and John at none other than the Polynesian Village Resort while on a family vacation. He received the papers on Christmas Eve, with his witnesses including the Seven Seas Lagoon and Cinderella Castle. Are you ready to graduate from Sangria University? This is a special dining event that takes place at Three Bridges Bar and Grill over at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. Here, you're going to learn how to make your own sommelier-led spirit while also taste testing 4 house-made sangrias and learning all about the history of this fruity cocktail that we've come to know and enjoy immensely. And yes, this sangria is way better than the Hoop-Dee-Doo sangria. It's just not unlimited. Every Disney resort has self-service laundry facilities you can use during your stay, and a lot of them have multiple different laundry rooms. So if you want to pack lighter to avoid those wild baggage fees from the airlines, you can do that and still have clean clothes all vacation long. Now, what makes these laundry facilities even better is that they're not going to cost you a whole lot of precious vacation time, because you can sign up for text updates letting you know when your laundry is done. Some resorts do charge a minimal fee, usually around $3 per load, to use the machines. And if you don't wind up bringing your own from home, soap and softener is usually available in the laundry facility vending machines for about $1 a pop. But what if you want to do laundry in the peace and quiet of your own hotel room? Well, if you're staying at a deluxe villa, you'll have a washer and dryer there right in the room as long as you have a 1-bedroom or bigger. These washer dryer combos come with single serve box of detergent, but you can always grab more at your resort gift shop. Okay, y'all, it's time to get swole. After walking for miles and miles across a Disney theme park, you're going to be happy to know you can go back to your resort and work out. Yep, I know. I do it all the time, too. No, I don't. Some of the resorts have fitness centers with equipment that can be used for free during your stay. And while hours are going to vary at each club, some equipment, like the weights, may need to be put away at night. So if you're looking to pump some iron, plan to do that earlier on rather than later in the evening. Now, I've stayed at multiple resorts and I actually have used the gyms, and I tend to be able to go pretty late at night or pretty early in the morning. So you just want to ask, if you're one of those night owls that works out in the middle of the night, like, The Rock, you'll want to ask at your front desk when you get there what times the fitness center is open and if you can access it 24 hours a day with your room key. Speaking of, make sure you've got your resort key to access the fitness center, or have your Magic Band, your smartphone, or key card, whatever, at the ready, because you are going to have to be staying at that resort to get into the fitness center. Now, many of the Disney Vacation Club resorts feature community halls where you can hang out, play games, or kill time on a rainy day. Anyone staying at a resort with a community hall can take advantage of the board games and the foosball and the ping pong and other complimentary activities here, while other things like DVD rentals may come with a small fee for non-DVC members. On top of all that, there's always a schedule of activities taking place in the community halls too, so be sure to check them out for crafts and games if you have some downtime at your resort. Now, this is a hidden gem that all you food lovers out there are going to love. Over at the Epcot area Swan and Dolphin hotels, you can experience the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic for a limited time each fall. This is an annual event and it is excellent. During the event, you're going to pay for a flare rate ticket to eat and drink as much as you want while you're there, with hundreds of different specialty options to choose from. Last year, this event took place on the evenings of November 10th and 11th, and advance purchase event-only tickets started at $185 per person. We're going to let you know the updated details for 2024 once we learn more. Every single Disney World resort, whether it be a value, moderate, or deluxe stay, has a complimentary movie under the stars that families can attend each night out on the resort lawn or near the feature pool. They just set up one of those big blow-up screens. The film changes up every evening, so you never know what you're going to be watching next, but they do have lists of the movies at the front desk, so you can kind of plan ahead and figure out, oh yeah, we want to be at the resort on Wednesday night because, the Santa Claus is playing or whatever. Now, this video just wasn't scary enough, so let's change that. In the lobby of the Boardwalk Inn, you're going to find those iconic and terrifying nanny chairs. These spooky-looking seats often sit on either side of the fireplace there in the lobby, and their faces will probably haunt your nightmares for the foreseeable future. You're welcome. These types of chairs were originally designed for nannies to sit in and take a break while children rode carousels. But now there are a few of them that call Boardwalk Inn home. I think there's 4 of them right now. As a fun little bonus, if you look at the back of them, you're going to see that they're each painted with a unique name. The rumor is that these were the names of the children of Imagineers when the resort was built. Now, I think there's Alex and Carrie, Paul, and now I can't remember the last one. Let's see if Bria can figure it out. So there's one place in Disney World where it's Mardi Gras all year long, but on the actual day of Mardi Gras, the celebration amps up. Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter both celebrate Mardi Gras each year, though most of the party can be found on the French Quarter side. And during this past Mardi Gras holiday, Port Orleans activities and celebrations included the Port Orleans Mardi Gras Pargo Parade from 10 to 11 a.m., which stretches across both resorts but starts in Riverside around Building 80. The Mardi Gras Courtyard Crafts from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the French Quarter Courtyard, and a Mardi Gras party from 5 to 10 p.m., which also took place in the courtyard after all the crafting had wrapped up for the day. So you might already be familiar with Mobile Order for the regular counter service spots around Disney World. Good for you, that's great. But did you know that select table service restaurants at Disney World's hotels specifically also offer a mobile order option that will let you take those items on the go? This is super handy if you can't get a reservation or if you don't want to deal with a long sit-down meal. You just want to take your food and you want to go to your hotel room and sit there and watch golf and eat it like I do. Anyway, spots like Sanaa, Steakhouse 71, a handful of others are going to let you grab your favorite dishes and take them with you, meaning you can grab a meal from one of your favorite sit-down locations and go enjoy it from the comfort of your bed. I love this for us. How long have you dreamed of riding in a Surrey with Fringe on top? You haven't? Well, maybe you will now. You can rent a Surrey bike for 2 to 4 people at resorts like Boardwalk Inn, Old Key West Resort, Port Orleans, Riverside and French Quarter, and Saratoga Springs too. Now, it's super fun, but I am going to warn you, if you rent one at the Boardwalk Inn, there are big hills when you go around Crescent Lake, and sometimes it's hard to get up those hills when there's just 2 people in that Surrey bike. So get yourself a 4-person and get yourself 4 people in order to do that, because it's exhausting. So I know Polynesian Village has been getting a lot of attention lately due to all the construction going on over there with the new DVC building that's slated to open later this year. But let's take a quick look into the Polynesian Village Resort's past for just a second, because it is so cool. Back in ye old days, there used to be a wave machine installed in Seven Seas Lagoon that gave you the chance to legit surf on the lagoon. But the wave machine worked a little too well and the strong waves started to cause damage. While it only lasted for about a year, you can still sign up for private surf lessons on Disney World property over at Typhoon Lagoon. But how cool was that? Can you imagine that there was like surfing in Seven Seas Lagoon? My goodness. So Hey Disney is a bit of a controversial new feature in the Disney World hotel rooms, but this virtual assistant works very similar to an Alexa. Sorry, had to spell it so we didn't have a lot of little blue circles lighting up. So it'll answer questions about Disney World, play Disney music and soundscapes, tell you Disney bedtime stories, and just be an all-around helpful tool if you want it to be. But if you don't want it to be, just turn it off. It's got an off button right there on the top of the device, which Disney encourages you to use if that makes you feel more comfortable during your stay. You can also just unplug it altogether. Disney's Yacht and Beach Club resorts might share a feature pool between the 2 of them, but trust me, there's a reason. Stormalong Bay is more than just a pool. It's practically a mini water park with over 3 acres of sunshiny fun, featuring the highest Disney resort water slide at 230 feet, the lazy river, 3 whirlpool spas, and a sand bottom pool area. But warning, Stormalong Bay will be closing. I know I tell you this in almost every video, but I do not want any tears when that pool closes and you don't get to go. No matter what happens, you can't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, it's going to be closing for an extended refurb from January to June of 2025. So if Stormalong Bay is a key reason you want to book either of these hotels, make sure it'll actually be open when you'll be there. Otherwise, you may want to book a room someplace else. The Electrical Water Pageant. This is a 15-minute show that happens in Disney's Seven Seas Lagoon, running nightly between 8:25 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., though hours are subject to change. This light parade features a fun and quirky lineup of aquatic creatures, American flags, and a catchy synthetic soundtrack. You'll find this parade passing by nightly through the Magic Kingdom Resort area, right on past the waters in front of Polynesian Village, the Grand Floridian, Wilderness Lodge, Fort Wilderness, the Contemporary Resort, and outside the entrance of Magic Kingdom, too. So we always tend to say that the Disney World hotels are just as big a part of the overall Disney World experience as the parks are. But now you know why. So now the question is, which Disney resort do you think has the best amenities, the best secrets, and the best rooms? Let us know in the comments. Tell us your favorite Disney resort. Tell us your bucket list Disney resort. Even tell us the Disney resorts you'll never stay in again. And don't forget to pick up our free guide to every Disney World hotel over at disneyfoodblog.com/hotels. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, we've got a bunch more 50 Amazing Things videos. Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, Hollywood Studios. We've got them all for you. So definitely go check those out because Bria and I put a lot of work and effort into them, and I can't wait for you to learn some of these really, really cool things that we don't want to gatekeep. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.